So hello everyone, welcome to this new video, and today in this video we are going to start with the second module. As you know that we have already covered the module 1, all the concepts related to module 1. In module 1 we have studied some of the basic concepts, that is the basics of this network analysis. Okay, all the basic things, resistors in series, parallel, and how to convert voltage into current sources and vice versa, and how the complex networks would be reduced to the simple networks by using some of the network analysis concepts. All of them we have discussed in brief. Okay, around 12 to 13 videos I guess have made it. You can check that, it is available in a playlist. Module 1 in deep, all the concepts have tried to cover it. Okay, so please refer that in order to make you strong in basics. That basic subject related to basic concepts of network analysis you should be knowing in order to study the further modules of this. Okay, this module is module 2. The name of the module is network theorems. Okay, in this module we are studying all we don't have any other concept, only the network theorems. We have around 5 theorems we are having, and those 5 theorems are completely different, and we have a separate set of rules for all those 5 theorems in this module. Okay, the name of the module itself is network theorems, so that's why you can say that we are studying only the theorems, and related to that theorems we are going to see the separate electric networks, how that networks are interconnected to each other based on the particular theorem, and we are going to analyze that network and we are going to reduce it to a simpler form, okay, by using some of the theorems. You should be knowing these theorems. So that's what the introduction of this. So let's start with the first theorem in this module, network theorems. That is, the first theorem name is superposition theorem. Okay, so this name you have already heard it before, it is not new to you all. So now let's see what is the superposition theorem. Okay, according to the network analysis. So the superposition theorem, the statement also carries marks, guys. Okay, so whatever I've written here, the statement, if they ask it with the statement along with its proof, okay, they would be asking sometimes, so you should be writing it very clearly. Okay, so that's why you see I've just written it here, so I'm going to read it to you all now. The statement says that if any multi-source complex network consisting of linear bilateral elements, that is a complex network consisting of linear bilateral elements, that is, if you can consider resistors, current sources, voltage sources, anything. Okay, the voltage across or current through any given element, that is the voltage across or current through any given impedance or resistance, whatever it is equal to the sum of the individual voltages or currents. Okay, keep this statement in mind, I'm going to explain it to you later. Produced independently across or in that element by each source acting independently. So this whole statement means that we would be having one complex network, and in that complex network if we have more than one sources, that is more than one independent sources, that is current source or voltage source in one network, if we have more than one sources, those sources would be acting independently. That is, we should be dividing that and we should be writing that particular circuit in order to find current or voltage. Okay, that is, it is produced independently across or in that element by each source acting independently when all the remaining sources are replaced by their respective internal impedances. Okay, if unknown, remaining sources are replaced by their internal impedances if unknown. If there is any unknown quantity, then it is replaced by their internal impedances. Okay, then the independent voltage sources must be replaced by a short circuit, while the independent current sources must be replaced by an open circuit. So now what this statement means is, whenever we have any voltage source and a current source simultaneously in a particular circuit, we should be considering any one source at a time and solving for that circuit. Okay, so if we consider one voltage source and if we are eliminating a current source from that circuit, what we should be doing, we should, wherever that current source is there in that particular branch, that only we should be eliminating. That is, we should be taking in consideration the open circuit in order to eliminate current source. Similarly, in order to eliminate the voltage source, that branch you should be shorting it. Okay, short circuit. That we are going to see when we are solving problems related to superposition theorem. Okay, that it would be making you clear. So now just try to analyze and understand this statement. The next is, if there are dependent current or voltage sources present in the circuit, then such dependent sources should not be replaced by open and short circuit. Okay, this you should be keeping in mind whenever there are any kind of dependent sources, either current or voltage sources. present in the circuit, then those dependent sources we should not be replacing by open and short circuit. You should be keeping as it is in the circuit. Okay, in case of dependent sources, and must be kept as it is. However, such sources have zero value only when voltage or current controlling across them is zero. Okay, that is, if the voltage or current controlling across them, if the value itself is zero, then we can say that those dependent sources will be having zero value, and directly we can nullify that and we can remove that. Whenever the value is zero, at that time only we can remove that dependent source. Otherwise, we cannot touch that. Okay. The superposition theorem does not apply to the power, as power is proportional to the square of current, which is not a linear function. Okay, this point also you should be making a note. Okay, that is, the superposition theorem does not apply to the power, as the power is proportional to the square of the current, that is P is equal to I square R. So that's why superposition theorem is not applicable for power obtained. Okay. So now this statement here, let us analyze with one simple proof of this statement in order to make you very clear about the superposition theorem. Okay, this proof also carries marks. Example, consider a network to calculate current through the branch AB. Okay, so this is a network here, simple network with one voltage, with one value of voltage source here, any value you can consider, and these are the three impedances. And they have asked us to calculate the current through this branch AB. Okay, and between this AB also we have an impedance named Z2 and Z3, and we have one more voltage source. So we have two voltage source in this circuit. Okay, so now what we should be doing is, in order to do the superposition theorem, case 1, consider case 1. In case 1, we should be removing any one of the voltage source. I have told you, right, if you want to calculate for superposition theorem, you should be having only one source at a time. We should be keeping only one source at a time. That is, by removing this, I have removed this source here, that is E2 0 volt, that is, we can consider E2 volt, that I have removed it. In order to remove that, what the rule in case of, according to superposition theorem, what is the rule? We should be making the short circuit, right? So that's why here I've removed this and made this short. I've shorted this branch here. Okay, so that's why now this branch is removed. Rest all the branches, keep it as it is. Now name this current current to this branch I of AB as I dash of AB, because this current is now after removing one of the voltage source. So that's why name this current as I dash of AB. Rest all the components, keep it as it is. Obtain I dash of AB by taking only this voltage source now. This is shorted. Only now we should be considering this voltage source. Okay. Obtain I dash of AB by any of the method, node analysis, mesh analysis, it is up to you, but I suggest you all to do the mesh analysis in order to obtain this current, that is I dash of AB. After that, you would be obtaining this current after doing any kind of mesh or node analysis, anything. You would be obtaining this current. After that, next step what we should be doing is, so which source we have eliminated, right? That we should not be completely eliminating from the problem. We should be considering in the next case. That is, now we should be doing the vice versa. Now we should be eliminating this source. That is, since we know that we should be taking only one source at a time, which we have already eliminated this and solved, but this source we had not eliminated. So that's why I eliminate this source now in case of case 2. And since this is again a voltage source, short it. Rest all the components, keep it as it is, and this you should be keeping it as it is. That is the E2 voltage source. Rest all the components, name it, and name this current now as I double dash of AB, since now this current is due to the voltage E2 voltage source by shorting the E1 voltage source. So that's why keep it as it is. Again, solve using mesh analysis or node analysis and get the current of I double dash of AB. Then that is, obtain I double dash of AB by taking only this voltage source. Okay. So now we have solved for I dash of AB, I double dash of AB, but our goal is to get this current, that is I of AB, right? So now the conclusion part, what we should be doing is, according to superposition theorem, the total current through branch AB is the algebraic sum of the currents through branch AB produced by each source acting independently. This is according to the statement. So finally we can conclude that I of AB is equal to I dash of AB plus I double dash of AB, because we have considered the sources independently and solved for two currents at a time. Right? Once we have considered this source and solved for I dash of AB, and whatever I dash of AB we have got, that we have written it. Then in case 2 we have eliminated the first source and kept the second source. And since we know that we should be considering only one source at a time, so that's why this would be the second current I double dash of AB. We have obtained two currents now. Okay, that is obtained I double dash of AB. Then for that according to superposition theorem, the total current through branch AB is the algebraic sum of the current through branch AB. That is, whatever the currents we've got by keeping individual voltage sources in two cases, that we should be adding them together. Okay, so that's why this equation is produced here. That is, I of AB is equal to I dash of AB plus I double dash of AB. Okay, so this was for when we have two of the voltage sources, but in problems this won't be very much simple. They would be giving one voltage source and one current source. Okay, again we should be applying the same rule here. If you want to calculate current through any branch, you should be considering any one source at a time. That is, either you should be considering one current source and eliminating the voltage source, or consider one voltage source and eliminating the current source. But the twist is that you should be knowing, in order to eliminate voltage or current source, what are the rules required. That is, if we want to eliminate any current source, we should be opening that branch. That is, we should be eliminating that complete current source branch from the circuit. And if you want to eliminate the voltage source, you should be making short circuit. Okay, that two rules, if you remember, keep the voltage or current sources independently and solve for various kinds of currents or voltages. Okay, so in this way, this is the statement part here. I've underlined some of the key points so that you can understand. Okay, so please note this very important theorem. They would be asking this with the statement along with the proof for around 7 to 8 marks, okay, in the exam. So that's why please go through this very carefully. If you want, you can take the screenshot of this video and refer this, because this is very important theorem. Okay, so I've explained this whole theorem with the whole proof here, and I've obtained with this equation I of AB is equal to I dash of AB plus I double dash of AB. This is for, you can observe one relation, that is, whenever we have two different sources, we would be getting two currents. Okay, similarly, if we have three sources at a time, we would be getting the three currents. Okay, that would be seeing when you solve the problems. Okay, yeah, so that's all for this session, guys. I've tried to explain superposition theorem from my side. So in the next session, we are going to solve problems related to this theorem. Okay, so be ready for that. Two problems you are going to solve, and we would be completing this superposition theorem part. Two different kinds of problems. I guarantee you that you would understand it. So please stay updated to that video. Like, share, subscribe to our channel, guys. Your like would be motivating us. So in the next video, let us see the problems. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.